yourself first.
Here we go. So we are live, and here we are, Chargeheads Live. My name's Tim Aylan, and Chargeheads Live is all about EV conversions, modified EVs, and many other things to do with unique electric vehicles. And if I start off by introducing, you might notice actually, it's more than just one person on the live today. We've got Arnaud, we've got John, and we've got Laurent. So who wants to start us off? Let's go alphabetical order. Arnaud, would you like to start us off with just a quick introduction?
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm one of the three co-founders of Fuel2Electric, and I'm also Laurent's brother and John's son-in-law. So it's like it's a family-owned business started in 2021 in the Northwest Arkansas. And before to introduce the company, as I say, my name is Arnaud. My background is marketing and strategy. So I manage marketing and social media policy for Fuel2Electric. Yep.
Fantastic. I might need to get some tips after this from you, Arnaud. So if that's all right. John, tell us a little bit about yourself to introduce yourself.
Okay. Well, so I've been in the automotive industry for a long time. I've always been interested primarily in trucks and vans. And my first new vehicle actually was a 1971 Dodge van. And I've been gifted, I guess you would say, in that I have an aptitude for construction and design and working with tools and things. So I've always loved to do that. So as a kid, I built tree houses and dug tunnels like they were going out of style. Anyway, so I buy this van and I we do the shag rug interior in it, black and red, put some fat wheel tires and stuff, fat wheels and tires on it, and the little curtains in the back with the dingle balls and everything, and drove it around and just had a big time with it, and everybody saw it, really liked it, and so I sold the van for the same price I paid for it a couple of years later. I thought, well, this is cool. So I bought another van, fixed it up, drove it from Virginia to Arkansas after I got out of the Navy, and got involved with the club. The club kind of exposed me to a lot of different companies and dealerships even. So met the Ford dealership. They contracted me to do my first conversion, which I did actually out in a parking lot of the apartment complex I was living in.
Oh, wow.
And turned it back in. Everybody loved it. It sold real fast, and I was on a roll doing van conversions. Nice. Well, a couple of years later, we moved into a new real building for my carport, and we had a gentleman bring a Chevrolet van in that was a paraplegic. He was a paraplegic, and he needed a wheelchair lift in his van. And so we he ordered a wheelchair lift from a new company in Florida. They shipped it up. We got the van. We put the wheelchair lift in it. That was, like I said, in 81. And the next thing we knew, slowly but surely, our business turned into a strictly mobility business where we were selling and upfitting and servicing mobility vehicles, adding different control systems and everything so people with disabilities could get around town. And it became a great business. We ended up with 3 different locations in Arkansas, Little Rock, over in Jonesboro, and Fayetteville being the home office. And so I started business in 77, actually, for real in 81. And so 40 some odd years. It's been fascinating.
Right. Yeah. So it's funny where we start, always being passionate about, vehicles, and, we've all started in completely different locations, I'm sure, different parts of the motor industry. But yeah, Laurent, can you tell us a bit about your kind of, a bit about yourself, your journey?
I don't have the same background. So I'm the third musketeer in the team. I'm the IT guy. I used to work as an IT engineer for power companies.
Yeah.
In France, in Africa. I was a consultant for the World Bank. And working in this area, I had a lot of studies. I read and participated in a lot of studies about smart grids, So how will the city will change with all these electric vehicles?
Oh, wow.
And starting in 2007, I was thinking about this is something interesting. All these new cars, what are we going to do with all the old ones? And in the end, we created the company in 2021, and we launched the website in 2022, August 2022. And now I run the operation for Fuel2Electric.
Yep.
Sorry, I hit the mute button there and I couldn't find it. Right, no, that's great. Thank you guys for giving us a quick intro there. So now the reason why a lot of people know why you guys are on here is because you've got a rather exciting company, which is based mainly in America, although I've heard a little snippet earlier before we went live about maybe it's going a little bit further than that, about EV conversions. So Fuel2Electric. Now, I've been on the website and, you know, in terms of what you guys offer, who can start me from the beginning of how Fuel2Electric started? You know, whose idea was it? Where did it all come about?
Well, I'll jump in there. It was actually Laurent's idea. And of course, me being from the automotive industry, I was wanted to be in on it. And of course, so did Arnaud. And next thing we knew, we got excited about doing a conversion on a Mustang, 66 Mustang, just for a project car. And so that's where we were kind of got our feet wet. There was a shop that was next door to my Little Rock store that was doing engine swaps on mostly classic cars and antique cars, putting LS GM engines and transmissions in them. And they thought, well, this would be a good challenge for them to do an EV conversion on this Mustang, which they are in the process of doing as we speak. So in the process of trying to research different parts and different information in regard to doing an EV conversion on a classic car, we just ran into all kinds of walls. We couldn't get answers from people. We couldn't get the time of day from shops. Yeah. I mean, everybody's busy. So we said, there's got to be a solution to this. And so Laurent started brainstorming the solution, and the solution became Fuel2Electric, which was a resource to help people that are interested in EV conversion, particularly of antique vehicles and older classic vehicles, into a modern, smooth, quiet, powerful electric machines. And so there was just no other resource that was doing that. And so Fuel2Electric came about. I guess the unique thing is that we really bring the person that owns the car, say the classic car, into a world that where there's a lot of different vendors and suppliers of parts, kits, information, learning and stuff like that together to on one platform. So I'll let Laurent maybe or Arnaud jump in there and talk a little bit more about that.
Just to jump in there. So it came from a bit of a frustration then, did it, in terms of being able to find the right information in the right shop?
Frustration, and also there was a missing piece. There was many pieces of a puzzle, and we couldn't see something that would gather everybody, all the pieces all together. The first idea was we're going to create a map of all the vendors, because by searching on Google, watching YouTube channels, we found so many names, and we wanted to contact them all. And we're like, okay, now this list of people we know now, what are we going to do with it? So the first thing is, okay, we're going to help all the people like us struggling, finding people, struggling getting a quote or explaining their project. That would be the second idea. First, we wanted to show a map of everybody in the US. Yeah, exactly. On the map there is so now we have 80 names only from vendors, parts vendors and shops in the US and Canada. And there is also now a new category, the yellow spots. pins. It's education and training facilities.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Right.
so
okay.
that's almost 130 names now on the map, which is a big database for anyone who's interested in EV conversion. Then we got to the next step, which is okay. Now they're gonna feel in the same position as us. It's like, so now we need to talk to everybody. Do we? To understand what is the best solution, what kits are available, where should I ship my car to be converted. So we move to the second step, which is talk to us, Fuel2Electric, and we'll make sure that your project is realistic. We're going to help you design what you need. We're going to listen to you, and we're going to present your project to the shops that we have in the database. And if one is interested, they will submit a quote. Sorry for the dog.
Don't worry.
I'm gonna mute now.
They're interesting.
It's fine, Laurent, because to be fair, that's probably going to start my puppy Rebel off. So although we're all right for now,
we can start a fight.
No doubt, it'll be a dog fight for sure. Oh
Yeah.
no, can you tell us a bit about
As Laurent said, I think it's like you with your car. Everybody's starting a different way. The main way to start now to convert a car is to go on YouTube and try to educate yourself, and that's the way that's the way we started with Laurent. We would do meetings on the phone in the morning and try to understand the components, and there is not even a lot of components, but just we started to do like boards and like what's the BMS and what do we need. Like we had no knowledge, like most of the people that want to do their own conversion. So obviously we had so many questions, and as we know, those amazing shops or builders or converters, people who physically convert cars, are super busy working on conversion, working on this project, and obviously they get 1,000 emails a day from random people around the world asking about what's a battery or how do I. And so obviously we tried to contact a lot of people years ago that are now member of Fuel2Electric on the platform. But at this time, it was just a lack of transparency, a lack of information. And as Laurent said, I think the statement and the first mission of Fuel2Electric was to share, and to build a solid and sustainable community around electric vehicle conversion, which, there's blogs in America, there's blogs in Europe, but we wanted to bring the first structure for people to really recognize themselves and just get help. So as Laurent said, we work with this first version of the website, which we actually just remodernized, but the first version of the website was very obsolete, very minimal. But at least we were showing information, we were sharing information. And so people, as Laurent mentioned, the map, like some people would just come back to us and be like, thanks us for just like showing what is possible and what's available. Because as we know, it's a very competitive industry, a very competitive market.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit obscure, like everybody's doing his own build. There's obviously, we're all aware about the financial interest. And so for us, the informing enthusiasts came first, and then came obviously the members and the garage or the builders or the converters that needed support, or that needed to extend the promotion or the extension of their business. So that's how kind of like, the community is kind of like building and growing every day. Yeah. And then came the education. And so, well, we have time to talk about that, to talk about
And
them.
I think you raised a good point. There's a lot of time that goes into the explanation because this is such a not just EV conversion world, but the EV world is so new to a lot of people that the amount of time you have to go through, and I spend a lot of time going through charging, which is my current job, because again, it's the knowledge base, even the basic knowledge base, just isn't quite there yet. And then you get into the EV conversion side of things, which again is another complexity. And then there's the number of hours that goes into an EV conversion. So it is very much labor time intensive. So yeah, I mean, how do you try and refine that? As how do you try and streamline that? Because obviously, from a business point of view, whether it's the people doing the EV conversions, and also you guys on the front end, being able to kind of narrow down people to the right people. How do you do that with the website and your business?
We spend a lot of time talking to them, but we have some shortcuts now.
Okay.
We have a methodology. We have a process, but also there is more and more breeds of customers. We started with DIYers, so we help them, and then we realized some people just want to be involved in the physical conversion. Just like you, actually. So you don't convert your car yourself, but you want to know more about it before shipping your car to someone, and maybe you want someone else to help you find this shop that will convert your car. So we've developed different things, different tools. The first one is the one you can find on the homepage, which is a very quick. That's the onboarding process. Just a few questions.
It's really good, actually. Yeah, I went through it. Really good.
Thank you. Well, the thing is, this is the second version of the website now, like really the real V2, and we are very proud of it. It looks good and it's very efficient. So there is this first stage of screening. Then we realize who's serious about it, who knows a bit more about it. We have a meeting with the project owner, and there is an extensive second step. Well, the third step, actually, after the meeting, which is the questionnaire. We have a really, this is our intellectual property, really extensive questionnaire that asks a lot about the expectations, the budget, and the condition of the car. And based on all of these questions, we have a good feeling about the project. We have some follow-up questions, and then we draft the project. And in between, we make some calls to some shops, like, you know what, we received that guy, he's really close to you, would that be of interest? Oh, you know what, there is a problem with that car. We have some really deep conversation. It's never too technical because we want to stay out of any technical considerations. We leave that to the shops and to the kit providers. We are not picking one motor against another. We leave all the doors,
agnostic.
all the possibilities open. We are agnostic.
Yeah.
So we want the expert to bring what he thinks would be the best solution for this project. And then together after they speak.
And is that when you go in agnostic? So, I mean, I'll use this scenario when I recommend a charger. The company I work for, Vital EV, we're agnostic on chargers. We do Chem Power, Autel, Alpatronic, Quench. And it's like, okay, so the customer, like you guys do, you've got that funnel of, okay, so that's the budget, that's the time frame, that's this, X, Y, Z. And then you make a recommendation based on that. Is that the kind of process you guys go through then? Just taking all those, taking all the information. Do you find it quite hard to do that sometimes, John?
Yes.
Yeah. It is challenging because you're communicating with. Well, the only thing that all these people have in common, of course, is the desire to convert typically a classic car from gas to electric. So we've got that going on for us. But you got people from all different kinds of educational, socioeconomic backgrounds and intelligences to deal with. Some not so smart, some extremely smart. that got that know what they're doing. So what we do is we take a look at their project, and first of all, we vet it. We basically weed out those folks that are unrealistic. That said, okay, I want a 500 horsepower electric Mustang that for $10,000. No. So we basically vet the project based on the questions, the answers we get from the questionnaire, and also the follow-up questions, and make sure that it's realistic. So we take a lot of that back and forth and out of away from the shops and also too from the individual. So we try to bring those two entities together. But to answer your question, yes, it's a whole different range of personalities. Some people are great to work with, easy to work. It's just like any business, you know. You have those small percentage that you go, nice meeting you. See you later.
I mean,
and you have those guys that you just bend over backwards to try to help.
Yeah, sure. Oh no, sorry, what are you going to say?
No, as they mentioned, team, we're agnostic. So we already read that we were we're the Airbnb of the EV conversion, which is
sure.
It's just to really mention that we are agnostic, and in any point we are trying to push for a specific solution or a specific budget. But as a middleman, or as an Airbnb platform, or as the Fuel2Electric platform, we're trying to pair and to really expose. We draft and we expose. We promote a project to the community. So the members that comes on Fuel2Electric, which is free, the members, the 80 builders in America, Canada, and we have one in England, and those people come on the platform. It's free, and they receive a list of feature project that we have on the platform, and they can, based on their interest, based on the time they have, based on budget, they can look at the project and jump in and offer a solution, offer a budget, offer a motor, a process. And so in front of that, the customer doesn't just get numbers. You know what I mean? It's something we're not trying to push to the cheapest person. We're trying to offer a large spectrum of electric solution. So your car can get attention from a couple of vendors that work with different technology, different motors, Tesla's, Netgain, Cascadia, and as a customer, as a project owner, as we like to call them on Fuel2Electric, you receive you get an objective vision of your project, and you get inspired, and you get feedbacks from those members. So it's not going to the cheapest one. It's not a bidding war. You know what I mean? It's bringing quality. It's bringing professionalism. It's bringing trust and transparency. And obviously, we follow our project owners all the way through this process. We analyze the steps of the project. We publish the feedbacks. Our members benefits from their feedbacks because people see that someone in LA converting a specific car. So obviously, if another project owner comes with a similar project, this member might get more interest. So it's as I said, it's a community, and we're working with super talented people, and we're blessed of having those 80 members on Fuel2Electric today, and it's just we are growing every day all together.
No, absolutely. And out of interest, how many you call them project owners, right?
We call them project owners, yeah. And as I mentioned, the project owners could be a DIYer that doesn't know nothing, and doesn't want to be involved. I have a Porsche and I want to spend $300,000, and you tell me everything. But a project owner could be somebody that has a very tight budget and contact us because he needs help and he wants to stay on budget and he needs technical assistance. Or it could be a fleet manager, which is a different breed of our customer.
Yeah, I was going to come on to that actually, because that does sound quite interesting. But how many project owners have you had go through the process so far? I'm sure it's not a huge number, because I know that the process is quite. It does take time. I mean, let's not use my example, guys, because obviously that's quite extreme. But but yeah. So how many people do you had go through that process now?
So I can't tell how many people reach out to us, but I can tell that we have 40 projects that went all the way through the process. Yeah, 38 to be.
That's really good.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty good, but in comparison to how many people reach out to us, it's just a little. But we feel we feel the same, and when we talk to shops, we have the same numbers basically.
Yeah.
It's like some people say 1%. Sorry.
What's the rough percentage, if you don't mind me asking?
So I'm not gonna tell you but I can. Some people. One guy one day told me 1%, which is extreme. Wow. We are a bit higher than this, but it's a tiny number. I'm telling you.
I can believe it, because there's always going to be dreamers, in this world.
That's why
dreamers like aspirational thing,
Yeah, exactly. Just being curious. Like I have this epiphany one day. I woke up. I'm like, hey, I should convert my car to electric. Let's find out on Google and define Fuel2Electric. Okay, they fill out the form, and no, it's not possible. It's not going to cost you. It's much more expensive than an LS swap. There is no comparison, and some people don't know that. So they just ask a question, and at every step of the process, there is like we vet people out basically.
And that's why, as we spoke briefly about education earlier, that's why we are developing insights on the website now and try to really inform and educate people about not just the technology, but also the costs, and try to raise awareness of conversion in the not just like a dreamy way, but in a realistic way. The same that, as Laurent said, we weed out those projects that don't make sense, not for us. I mean, for us obviously, but for our community. Like the builders receive like 100 phone calls every day of people who don't have
exactly. Yeah, it's a two-sided. Sorry, Arnaud.
No, it's okay. But so for us, what's important is to bring a value, and so an extra value for those members. And so obviously, when we draft and we feature a project, we already know that this is something that is realistic. This is something that it could be executed. And it could interest 1, 2, 3, 5, or 10 members of Fuel2Electric.
Yeah. Sorry, Laurent, you were saying.
Yeah, no, I wanted to say that it's a two-sided. Again, the dog. It's a two-sided business. So you have the customers, the project owners. They will come and reach out to us, and we want to save time for them. We want to make them happy by helping them finding the right shop. Now, on the other hand, we have the shops that spend hours answering emails instead of building cars in their garage.
Absolutely.
And they want to benefit from the benefit we can provide them is to bring them vetted projects. You can submit a proposal on this project. It's solid. The project owner is serious. He has the money. He knows what he wants. He understands what EV conversion is. Go for it. And this is the whole win-win situation we want to bring into the community.
I understand now. So it's not just a win for the people that want to convert, but it's a win for the shops because they focus on what they're good at rather than necessarily qualifying every single lead, which, as you guys know, and as I'm sure I understand fully, it takes time. So it's come to me, John. How many van conversions have we had so far? Because I know that you're dying to tell me.
Well, I'll tell you what, the big van conversion is on the VW transporter.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You see a lot of those being modified just because it just lends itself. That's one of the cool thing about shaggin' wagons is that they've got so much room in them. I mean, they're like mobile apartments, you know.
Absolutely.
So,
I really want to know what was on your bumper sticker on your shaggin' wagon, John.
Maybe you don't want to know. Maybe you don't want to know.
Your daughter is in here.
No, I've got a camper van, but it's a 2004 Toyota, and it's way too new to be EV converted just yet. But so you do get some van conversions through the well. Have you had any go through to the EV conversion companies yet? Any of the vans?
So,
sorry. Go ahead.
Are you thinking about talking about the fleet conversion? Is that what you're thinking about?
Let's talk about that, because that really interests me.
I mean, but like as John said, like the VW is an easy conversion. I mean, we're in America, West Coast, Los Angeles. I mean, a lot of the members are based on the West Coast, but it's just you see a Sprinter on the PCH, you see a brand new Sprinter, or you see an old VW. So there's a request for the VW, obviously. Yeah. And I think, like around the world, like people converted those VW. I think we are, I don't know if we can see the site and maybe the latest projects, but we're pretty proud of, not just having those VWs, but getting amazing cars recently on the website. Maybe that's something Laurent can talk about the managers, the fleet managers. That's something that, as Laurent mentioned, we use the term different breeds of enthusiasts on electric.
Sure.
And the fleet managers,
I suppose that's less of a passion project, right? That's more of a explain.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's for us. It's a different breed of enthusiasts, and it didn't come at the beginning. As we mentioned, we faced those DIYers and tiny projects. But the fleet manager is something that we really are taking in consideration since almost a little year now.
Last SEMA. At SEMA, we've been contacted by a lot of fleet.
Since SEMA.
Okay. And what sort of vehicles are these that fleet managers are coming to you with?
So what's interesting, if I can just introduce the idea, is like we're facing those fleet managers that they are motivated by a dual commitment to the over environmental sustainability and obviously the long-term economic profit of their companies, which is a private sector, public sector, universities, obviously campus, in America. I mean, you heard about those massive campus. I mean, Texas A&M is like 50,000 students. So we really are trying to aim and get interest and assist those fleet managers for, as I mentioned, two reasons: the sustainability, try to reduce or limit the emission of GHG, and obviously the control of the managing of the financial managing of the fleet. What's exciting is technology are evolving every day, and we are now working with we're now working with members that are just so involved in the fleet managing that they can convert like a class 3 little cargo 15 passenger van to a class 8 truck, which is like 35,000 pounds, like 15 tons. And so those providers, those builders are starting to get our interest, and we're trying to approach and educate those fleet managers that either come from, as I said, the private sectors, towns, cities. We're working here with the city of Fayetteville, and we had a meeting on the phone and just trying to introduce the idea of maybe converting one of their vehicle,
Yeah.
or maybe a fleet or car police or ambulances, And so there is a real interest about conversion instead of switching to new EVs, which is a trend too, obviously. People would think that, especially for a fleet, you're on a larger scale. We're not talking about one vehicle in a small garage. You're talking about a fleet of 5, 10, 20. Like the meeting we had here was about 80 vehicles. And so what's interesting is we are getting the infrastructures through members of Fuel2Electric that have the infrastructure, the technology to provide this high scale sort of process.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, we're trying to explain and educate that it is cheaper to convert a whole fleet to electric than just acquire brand new 50 new EVs, for example.
Wow.
You save, first of all, you reduce your environmental impact on the production because you don't have to produce a new F500 with a crane in the back, and so you skip this process of manufacturing.
Yeah.
Because we keep your van, we keep your truck, we keep your tractor, we keep your bus. 90% of the structure is there, and then it's about 20 parts that comes in.
Right. So these are mainly specialist vehicles you're talking about then, with cranes and things.
Well, that's the thing, as like a buses company.
Yeah.
That's in America, we have those school buses. So this is a big trend here, converting school buses.
Especially. Oh wow! Like the original, the yellow ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me because I didn't realize that they were doing that. I think I might have heard a while ago. But what sort of conversion does that entail? What sort of battery size? What sort of power of motor? What's the charging speed? That sort of thing. Do you know the specs of that?
Well, I mean, it all depends. I mean, an average of a school bus in America is about, I think, 100 miles a day. Yeah, that's the average. So the same. You don't have to like a hyper-speed charger. You don't need to get a capacity of 250 miles in your school bus, because on an average, a school bus is about 100 miles a day. It's used for 100 miles a day. For a community or for a little city that has a needs for snowplow during winter, equip their trucks with snowplow, or equip their truck with a mini crane to take care of sanitation or trees or anything. The cost of buying a new EV with a crane on it, with a snowplow, with all the custom equipment.
It might not even exist yet, which is another factor.
And plus, either it doesn't exist or it's very expensive. And so for us, what's very exciting now with fleet managers is to try to show them numbers on top of showing the saving on cost, electricity, maintenance divided by 5 due to the smaller size of number of parts. And obviously the cost of electricity cheaper than gas or petrol. You say on the whole continent.
Absolutely.
But so for us, what's very exciting is to show and to prove that it's cheaper to convert your fleet to electric than to just purchase 50 or 100 new EVs that, as you mentioned, probably do not exist because the equipment is so customized and so specific to each vehicle that it's just, it probably doesn't exist yet,
No, and I think
that's the big idea of fleets and utility trucks and stuff like that. The more customized they are, the better the EV conversion will be. The more profitable it will be, because as you said, the vehicle might not be available in an electric version as brand new. And plus, when you have to transform this vehicle into something that is very customized to your need, then it's super expensive. A school bus, a brand new school bus, EV school bus is like $400,000. It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, yeah. So going away from sort of that type of conversion, how did you guys, what parts of this do you enjoy? Because it obviously takes a lot of time. But what kind of gives you that kind of great feeling about, this is the right thing to do? John, have you got a bit of a insight in terms of what you enjoy most about having Fuel2Electric? Oh, I see Arno's making a few hand movements there.
Well, you know what really kind of cemented me into that school of thought in the EV industry was I have an F-150 pickup truck, a Platinum 21 model that's got more computers on it than it's just unreal. And so I had to take it in one day for some service on those computers, some reprogramming.
Yeah.
And so they loaned me a Mustang Mach-E, which is Ford's new EV Mustang. And I was blown away at the performance, the quietness, the response. It was just an amazing vehicle. And of course, one of the cool things about Fuel2Electric is that we're really an upcycler. We're wanting to work with vehicles that are already out there and already in roads, especially the classic vehicles. And so, like Arno was saying earlier, why crush these things and put them in graveyards when they're upfittable? But I don't know, the experience of driving electric cars, and even cooler than that is driving a classic car, say a '66 Mustang, down the road and just blowing the doors off of some of these other little import cars. It's of course this Mustang originally had the 6-cylinder engine in it with a 3-speed automatic, which was not very exciting. It was pretty hard to drive, actually.
Yeah.
And so the car, of course, we went ahead in order to keep up with the new electric drivetrain, which has 2.5 times more torque and power than the original. We had to get rid of the 14-inch wheels, the drum brakes, the old standard steering. That's all been redone. It's all disc brakes, 15-inch wheels, and everything else now. So we had to upgrade the stereo, of course. We had put a 300-watt JBL radio in there.
Nice.
That looks like a classic Mustang.
Yeah,
it looks
sure.
like a regular Mustang radio.
Something that's going to be important for me is making sure I have a good sound system, because although I've always had quite loud cars in my life, I always like to, pump the tunes out there. But it's interesting you say a 66 Mustang, because my friend's got a 66 Mustang manual, and he's a massive gearhead or petrol head or whatever you call it. He's very much not a charge head. So, he winces at the thought of anyone touching it with anything electrical. But yeah, from my point of view, to see something classic and seeing it more and more, because you're able to drive it as a daily, it's reliable, you can do more miles in it, then that's fantastic.
I can't wait to drive it over to Whole Foods and plug it up next to a Tesla.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
We've seen some great pictures from electric classic cars on them plugging in a couple of Ferrari Testarossas into some Tesla chargers on their way to Switzerland and back, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, it blows people's minds.
It's funny, Tim, that you mentioned your friend's petrol head with his manual 66, because actually the car that John is talking about was a automatic.
Sure.
And it becomes an electric manual now.
Oh wow!
So
that's a 3-speed manual transmission.
we
So
send
what was the kind of
send
conversion
videos to
there?
your friend and just convince him to swap to or to convert to electric, because obviously most of a lot of the conversions are stay automatic, but the manual is you keep the driver improvement and you just like shift up and down, and so you really keep the feeling of
But
the
it
classic.
just gives you, yeah, it just gives you a little more versatility of driving. I mean, if you're just going to be cruising around town, you just put it in second gear and leave it there and just go around. I mean, you get out, looks like you're going to get out on the freeway, put it in third, let it go.
Yeah.
Or if you're a traffic light and you want to scare people, put it in first gear and romp on it and then smoke the tires.
Make
So,
a couple of
that's
11s down the road, right?
That's what John's
so
going to do every day.
So I say again,
most all the new cars.
I
Most
said
all the
that's
new
what
cars now are
John's going to
direct
do
drive.
every day.
sorry. Oh no, you go first, and then we'll hear John. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I said that's what John is going to do every day. Put first gear at the red light and just smoke tires.
John,
Yeah, that's right. I'll buy the tires.
Good man. Good man.
I'll
You
buy
can
the
come by
tires.
mine. You can come by mine actually. Mine are on the wear bars at the moment, which I need to change on my Tesla. So yeah. But no, I mean, from my point of view, it's not just about having that daily driving, but also encapsulating the classic feel, the imminent danger, and not all these safety, the nanny state stuff, because that I say that now when I'm on a long drive down the motorway, probably won't enjoy that so much. But I think that's what I'm going to enjoy. But Laurent, what's the kind of your most favorite EV conversion that you've been involved in so far? Because we've been talking about some exciting cars, we've got everyone excited and passionate. Laurent, what have you come across that's really got your got you going?
I just sent you a link actually of the project, so you can show them on the screen. But
Okay.
there are many completed. I'd say we've seen a lot at SEMA last November. Great builds from Scorpion EV, Hypercraft, Revolt system. We've seen so many nice builds. Now driving is a different story, and well, we have so many interesting projects, and what the energy we get from this project is what drives the business really. If you look at all the cars we have a 1918 Buick. It's going to be a parade car, but still it's a good looking car, and you want to see it. You just don't want to have it in storage or whatever. Okay, there's a big echo on my side.
I'm just sorting my.
Getting an echo.
Yeah, it's more than an echo. Actually, I think it's not recording.
I think it's
Yeah, that car that he sent you the link on, Tim, this looks like it came right off the set of Star Wars.
Yeah, this one is the rocket car is one car that's really famous. It's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And
you want to share your screen? Sorry, I just tried to share it just now, and that's what all the interference is about. I'm sorry, guys.
No.
I need to be. I don't know if you guys watch Joe Rogan, but I need someone else helping me with all these videos. Like he's got that guy Jamie, puts them all up. Put it up, Jamie, and they put all the lovely. I'm trying to multitask here. But yeah, if you could find it and share it, and I'll share it to the screen.
Can I present? Share screen. Do I want to do this?
That's right. We'll give it a go. Don't worry. I can always share it afterwards.
Well, this rocket car is.
Sorry, go on. Sorry, mate.
Yeah. No, this rocket car is just one example. There are many cars. There is this Porsche Speedster. These guys, they have a shop and they're looking for a solution. They want to integrate the battery pack on the floor of the Speedster. So they need someone to do it for them. They are specialized in restoration of Porsches, and they need only this solution, the battery pack on the floor. There is this 91 BMW 389. It's a convertible, and it's a DIYer. So this guy wants just a kit. This car, the one you're showing, is just insane. It's we have another project on the pipe that's called the spaceship. I'm waiting for the pictures now, but I'm dying to see what it is.
I've got the Star Wars Episode 4 background music of the sounds of the Sand People in the background in my head right now. That looks amazing. I mean, we unfortunately, as you guys might know, from a UK DVLA and law point of view, we can't get away with doing too much in terms of modifications, and this is so there's a lot more leeway in the Americas than the certainly the UK, but that looks amazing. That really does. So what are all these vehicles? Is this the list of cars so far, or? Yeah,
it's the list of the cars so far that are in process of being converted. So with always the orange flag on it. And the others, they are either waiting for new proposals because the one they receive are not what they expected, or in process of negotiating the details with the shop or with a kit provider. So it's pretty cool.
Tim, one of the things I wanted to inject in here, and I put it in one of the notes, is that one of our main goals is to build a database of these conversions, so that when somebody comes in with anything that's like a certain thing that's already been done, then we've got a or a blueprint there that we can really get the process going faster and get it hooked up with the shop that just did a 66 Mustang. Or whatever the case may be. So something that goes parallel to that as we grow, and what we're looking for in the future is we're going to keep a close eye on education, also certifications and standards for the shops, so that everybody comes into compliance. I know when I first started in the mobility van conversion field, that there were no standards, for installing wheelchair lifts in vans. And so, but unfortunately, after a slew of lawsuits from anything from fires to deaths, different things, or handicapped people became more handicapped, or even worse, dead, there had to be some standards and guidelines, which there was an association that was started called NMEDA, which is National Mobility Equipment Dealers Association, which set those standards and guidelines and put teeth in them where there were regular inspections for the shops. And so the shop could say, okay, well, we're certified NMEDA dealer. So our technicians have been trained. And that's where this industry I see going now. Is toward certification standards, insurance requirements, and other things. And that's all good stuff that it will develop.
Yeah, and just to kind of express a little bit on the point I was talking about earlier, was the fact that in America, the standards are very different compared to the UK. And Fox Sound Follies, but don't let Ralph, who's converting the TVR that we're doing the EV conversion on, hear you talking about dropping all the safety stuff. And obviously, from a safety point of view, I wasn't talking about the EV conversion safety stuff, which is a real kind of focus on myself and Chargeheads, and just making sure, like you guys were just talking about there, making sure that there are some standards. Certainly not dropping that. I'm talking about the kind of more the standards that you wouldn't expect to have on an 80s car as such. But we're really striving, and Ralph is doing a lot of work with an association, essentially building some guidelines to make sure that the right isolations being used to make sure battery boxes in a certain way, and making sure that
is it the EV Repower Association?
That's it. Yeah, EV Repower Association. So please get involved. Anyone that's watching this, please get involved in that. That is a real, it's a real focus of me and Ralph. You know, I've always wanted since starting in getting involved in the EV conversion community that it's really important, because the last thing that we want is silly mistakes ruining it for everyone. Because in the UK, what will happen, it's probably not so much America, is they'll just clamp down on everything, and it'll ruin the EV conversion. Say party, probably not a party.
Same in the US.
Same in the US.
Right. Yeah, we need that. We need to make sure we want to protect our project owners. So if we show them, if we point out to a certain shop, we want to make sure that this shop has the experience, has all the
insurances.
Yeah, I was looking for that. Insurances and all the standards. So there's at least one person qualified in the shop, certified somehow. There's no certification today, so it's hard to tell. But we want things to happen so the customers and the build are protected. In the end, we also think of what's going to happen to this car. It's going to be sold one day, and bringing that certificate that says it's been converted by someone that is certified or someone that has respected a standard, or maybe it's going to be a control. So the buyer will ask someone to control that the build is well done, safe, and etc. So there is a lot to do, and it's one of our top priorities today. We want to make sure that the shop we work with are strong, so they can handle all those all the problems all the cars have on the road, like accidents, like stuff like that.
And follow the requirement and the guidelines that we have on the website. If you want to become a vendor on the platform, obviously you have to meet those guidelines, you have to meet those requirements. And so that's how we provide quality and trust, either from the project owners, but also from the members or the vendors that want to be, they want to be well surrounded, and they want to feel, in the right community. So that's especially America, where there's so much builders and so many people that just improvise themselves builders. So for us, it's also very important, the same way that we, try to really weed out and keep those feature of the project that really make sense. It's also very important for us to be very specific and strong with the selection of the members or the builders that are listed on Fuel2Electric.
And it's very different. I mean, you look at the early EV conversions, we're talking a much lower voltage. So as EV conversions have been upgraded in terms of higher voltage, more power, DC charging, it does start to become, safety is more important. And it's not just a Hyper 9, low voltage conversion, which, is still dangerous, but it's less of a risk. But, with, different battery chemistries coming on board, moving from NMC batteries to LFP batteries, I'm sure that will increase the safety, from a crash point of view and all these other things. So I'm sure if we work together, the whole EV conversion community, we can make it better. And I'm sure, the EV conversion kits will get better on that basis as well. Because I think that's where I see most of the EV conversions coming from, are from these kits, because it just makes it more affordable, safer, more efficient, and all these other things. So
that's the goal. That's the goal. Kits and battery packs, Hypercraft, Felton, AppEV. We have also Amprevolt that does like super nice boxes for Tesla modules.
EV Scorpion, Tremere. I think it's all those plug and play, and as you said, all those ready to plug and try to avoid all those
We're really excited about it, Tim. I mean, at SEMA 22, that was our first SEMA as Fuel2Electric. We had we were all excited. We had our little 10 by 10 square. We're just getting started with our little logo in the back and
Nice.
a few flyers and everything. And we had 16 vendors signed up. Woohoo!
Wow.
So, yeah.
That day or at that point?
At that point, we had 16 vendors signed up in 22.
Wow.
And then, so in 23, what did we have? Almost 70 when we came into 23. And now it just keeps growing as people start to see the value and the benefits of the platform. And really, that's exactly what it's about. It's trying to simplify the process, educate people, help people. Be, like we said, always be agnostic. We want to let the project owner and the shops decide what's going to be the best after all the information's been digested. And hey, let's hit the road safely.
No, absolutely. So I think this is a good time to find out perfect EV conversions. Now, Arno, I'm going to start with you. But have you got an EV conversion? Have you got one in progress, or have you got a dream one? Where are we at with yourself, Arno?
I mean, I don't have one in the process because I think we're busy. I mean, we're busy enough with all. I don't know. I feel like all the conversion we have on Fuel2Electric are our conversion. It's like
Okay, I like that.
It's like our babies, but so
You're a stakeholder, right?
No, I mean, we're thinking about all those projects in the pipes now and all the opportunities that are coming up. But I don't know, my dream conversion.
Your dream or your favorite so far through the books?
Man, I mean, I like all what's done on the 911, 912 now. I think all those subframes, I think it's moving forward very fast. As we mentioned, more like a few years ago, people were working on those VW bus, and we will see like those conversion like moving forward and evolving so fast. Now, I think like in America, well, you guys, have a couple of Porsches also in England with the ECC, with electronic. So I think I like what's happening now with the 911, this mutation of technology. Obviously, Felton is doing a lot, but all of them, So I think a 911 is. I would like to. I never tried a 911 conversion, so I think if you would ask me which one I would like to try, I think I would like to. Put my butt in a 911 converted electric car and see how it reacts.
Well, I'm very, very blessed because I was able to go in. It was an Eco Classics one in the UK. It was Chinese motored. It's about 450 brake, and it was amazing, and it sounded amazing too. So if you get a chance, Arno, go and have a look at that video. It's probably a couple of years ago on my channel now. Eco Classics, check it out. John.
Yeah, Eco is good. Yeah.
So what's? Oh, here we go. Oh, to the left a bit, to the right, right. Oh, yeah, the Mustang. I can see it now. Oh, Arno's gone.
Anyway, it's a 66. I've always been a Mustang fan. So not only do we have that car in process and dangerously close to completion, but my other gas car is a 2003 Mustang Terminator Cobra. That's a 400 horsepower rocket. And it's a pretty amazing car that I've had for quite a while. And so basically I have two Mustangs. And but
sorry, it's a Mustang Terminator. What? Sorry,
It's a Cobra. So it's SVT, Specialty Vehicle Team Ford. In other words, it's Ford's hot rod Mustang. It was a step above the GT. You had the Mustang GT, which had the 289 and the other small block engines. Well, this has a 4.6 supercharged V8 in it, and the car is small. I mean, the car is not a big car, but it's there you go. So it's a Cobra and 2003 model. They only made it for about 3 years before they changed the body. I think it was in 05. Yeah, that's basically it's a convertible. It's a black.
Okay, right, got you. Okay.
It's a black convertible. There you go.
There you
It
go.
looks very much like that. So this car has 27,000 miles on it. So it's not hurt at all. Matter of fact, it's really just starting to get good and broken in. But that's my hot rod. And when we get the 66 done, it's going to be a fun pairing of
what
electric.
What motor's going in the 66, John?
Well, I'll let Arnaud tell you about that.
All right.
Or Laurent. Or I'll let Laurent. It's basically two Hyper 9s. It's dual Hyper 9s front to back.
Yeah.
And so it's gonna have probably around 250 horsepower, Laurent. What?
240.
240 horsepower and a ton of torque. And so, like I said, with the 3-speed, instead of being direct drive, we decided to go with this 3-speed. We've got a lot more versatility and performance from off the line from the traffic stop to getting on the freeway. So it's going to be a fun car. But the thing is, there's nothing really like it in Arkansas. I mean, EVs in Arkansas are Teslas and Nissan Leafs and Chevy Volt and those typical new cars. So this will be the first, I think, classic car in the state of Arkansas. And our plan is to get with the Ford dealership when it's finished. And the Ford dealership's already said that they'll allow us to sit it on the showroom floor next to a Mustang Mach-E. So we'll have the old and the new.
So you're going to bring the silence to them all. So anyone that's watching right now live, please give us a like. Always helps the channel. Laurent, you've been waiting patiently there. What have you got for it? Have you got a ideal?
I'll go with. I'm a big TV show guy, and I'm from this generation who spent a lot of time watching American TV shows in France. So I'm gonna go with the Magnum PI Ferrari 308. I love this car. And it's super tiny. It's a kicker. It looks good. That's my answer. It's very short. It's very
short and sweet. Funnily enough, I think Electric Classic Cars have done a 308, and I think I've sat in one. I've sat in it as well.
We have one in the bike too. Yeah, it's super exciting.
Obviously, mine's a TVR. I must admit, John, I'm slightly jealous. Like, should I have gone the manual route? Because I know, I'll tell you what I watched recently. I watched the film. It was about the GT40. The one with Matt Damon and the other chap in it. And every time they changed gear, it reminded me of my TVR Griffith. They'd like click into gear, and I think that's one thing I might miss a little bit. But there's always time, always time. Guys, have you got anything you want to share with the audience? Because we're slightly over time. I think I've found out a lot more about Fuel2Electric, and anyone that wants to know more about Fuel2Electric, make sure you are go, search it on Google, find out a little bit more. If you are serious about going down the route of an EV conversion, don't waste people's time. It sounds like
waste hours. You're going to learn something with us anyway.
Absolutely. There's lots of YouTube videos out there to get you moving. But once you've got a serious inquiry, I think Fuel2Electric is a great place to start. But guys, is there anything else you want to add in terms of what Fuel2Electric can do for a budding EV conversion potential project member, owner, one of them?
Be sure and follow, just like you, be sure and follow us on social media. Okay. Right, Arnaud?
Yeah. We're on social media. We're heading to a few car shows this summer and trying to be present around America, obviously on social media. I think it's as you mentioned, Tim, I think it's what's exciting is the transparency, the fact that we can talk together about the trends on the EV conversion market in Europe and in England, and what's happening in America. And obviously, we only had 1 hour, but we could talk about legislation. We could.
Oh, we could go on. We could go on for a long time. A long time. Yeah.
What's exciting is now everything is, flat on the map. It's everything is visible, everything is transparent, and we can talk together about our experience, about your experience, about how the market is evolving on the other side of the water, what we do here, what's potentially could come for Fuel2Electric, in England or anywhere else in Canada. Like, we're growing fast, and we're growing because of people that trust in us, and the community that is today building Fuel2Electric. So that's for us. Is very important to mention. All the vendors on Fuel2Electric, all the project owners that trusted in us, that trust in us, and continue to follow us and support us. That's for us the biggest reward.
Yeah. No, sure.
After only 2 years, so it's we're excited about the future, about the present, about the future, and we're super excited, stoked.
Yeah. And Laurent, where do you see Fuel2Electric in a couple of years' time? I mean, what's the kind of
couple of years I hope we'll be in UK, to be frank, and I hope we can deliver more and more projects. We have a good idea of where we're going. The trend is good. The lights are green, so
keep pushing.
Keep pushing. This is what we say every day.
Pedal to the metal. Wonderful.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Full throttle.
Absolutely. Guys, it's been wonderful to have you on. We could talk for hours of trying to keep it to an hour. I know we've gone over, but like I said, I'm sure we'll bump into each other at some point. I don't think I'm going to be at SEMA this year, but I hope maybe next year. And if you guys are ever coming to the UK, please let us know. It'd be great to meet you in person and introduce you to some more people in the EV conversion world in the UK. And get in contact if you ever need anything. But thank you so much, Arnaud, John, Laurent. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Tim.
Likewise.
Thanks everyone for listening live. And please, anyone that's watching this and they've enjoyed it, please make sure you share it. Check out Fuel2Electric on the socials. But guys, thanks again once again, and thanks everyone for watching. And I'll see you next time.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.